Are we back? We're back.
We're back.
Yeah. I think you wake up the next morning and have a little bit of foraged food, and you're making your way along the river. And as everyone
Josh,
knows,
you're muted, Josh.
and
That explains it. Judd, do we eat food from our supplies? Because we get like 3 days of food. If we want more food, we're gonna have to hunt or actually forage.
I don't know. I think that's your decision. What do you want to do?
How far do
well-
we this away? Like, how many days journey are we expecting this to be?
That's a Hadna question.
Yeah, that is a Hadna question.
Yeah.
It's like 1 hex a day. Is that the basic vibe?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay.
And you need to consume 1 unit of food and water per day. So, we right now, I think we're within spin distance of a river. You said that we're in a jungle.
Yeah.
Like, there might be a question about like whether we can find safe to drink water or whatever. But I think that with a campfire and whatnot, we can probably make it work.
Right.
But the food situation is like we travel some days, and some days we might have to hunt or whatever, or
Right.
trade.
Yeah. I think, I know it's up to you. I mean, I think that's your decision, whether you want to forage or whether,
Well, I am capped on how much load I have, so my recommendation would be to eat from our supplies today. We can forage in the future. Hi.
I think Drawn feels like it's pressing enough that he doesn't want to slow down to.
Right.
Want to slow down to.
Right.
So yeah, I'm all for consuming our supplies.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
hunting when they get a little lower. I got a hunting kit. I got hunting tools.
So do I. Yeah.
I'm definitely down to do it as needed.
cool. As the morning mist starts to clear and you eat from your packs, from the the river village, food. In the distance, you can see the strange tower that rises up from the lake that the locals call the Horned Totem. It's a structure of rock and weird metal. Bones of unknown creatures lie on the island. You don't know that, but it's an unnatural thing on the horizon. As unnatural as this music is.
Is it? Do we feel like the star has landed there, or is the star further?
Yeah, the star is further. The star is beyond it, but it's just like it's on the horizon, right?
Yeah. Hey, Jed, is it cool if we call it the Horned Spire or the Horned Tower or something like that?
I would be all about getting rid of the word totem. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good word for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Horned Spire works great for me.
Awesome.
Or even like Horned Tree or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
as you requested, there goes the music. It fades away.
Fantastic. Banished with the appropriation. And I think also along the river, the other detail I will put in is that I think along the river are woolly mammoths, getting water and bathing and
nice. Yeah.
And you all approach, and I think you all know that you really don't take too much notice of humans very much at all. And so about, I think you're right at the southern part of the lake where the woolly mammoths are gathering. And about midday, the sun is high and hot. You're glad you're right near water. And the mammoths start moving with a purpose. They start heading south along the river nervously, and they start stamping the ground at one another, and you hear they start rounding up their young and getting them out of there, and
I think Drawn can tell that this is a predator approaching.
Yeah.
But there's lore keepers here.
What the hell scares woolly mammoths?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, they're huge.
Exactly.
It takes like a whole tribe of people to take one down.
Right.
Let's that's actually a good question. I have an idea, Jay. If you want to tackle this via lore, that sounds great to me. I could also see if I could talk to some of the local birds and see if they can spot what it is that's coming.
I think I'd like to see that. Yes, because we have not seen that. You talking?
I dig
birds.
it. I dig it. Yeah.
I'm
So I
with
think
that.
Drawn's like, what would startle such massive beasts? And looks at you, Buren.
Yeah.
So Judd, I look around. Is there any birds nearby?
Yeah. I think there is a dead mammoth that died of old age, and there are some like prehistoric vulture like things eating from it. Birds with like sleek black feathers, but nothing on their heads or their necks, so that they don't have to clean gore off of them.
Cool. So I think what happens is I'm gonna pluck some feathers off of one of my necklaces, and I'm going to take them and wrap my hands around them and whisper arcane words to them. And then when I open my hands, like the shadows fill out the section of the bird that's missing.
Oh, awesome.
So I put like a skull and like 3 feathers together, and it forms like a shadow vulture.
Oh, nice.
I close my eyes as it flies towards them, and I'd like to basically just be like it lands next to them. And I think that there's a bit of a dichotomy, right? Because like on our end of things, I'm doing something arcane and strange made of smoke and like bird bones, but like when the vulture lands, like it basically does an equivalent of like, what up, guys?
Right.
Do we see anything dangerous? Where the hell are the elephants going?
Right.
Nice.
I don't know why all vultures sound like wise guys in my head.
all vultures come from Jersey. We know that.
That's right.
Having grown up there, Jay and I agree. Is there a role, or is this just something you can
I absolutely you tell me. I have the ability to do this, but if you want me to actually like roll to speak to birds, because that's one of my talents, I absolutely can make that roll. I can put that roll together.
Yeah. So it's like a tag you have? Like what would you say?
Yeah, it's a tag. That's my talent. I can speak to birds.
Oh, awesome. No. I don't think we need to roll for that then.
Okay.
Love it. Yeah, they say you've come too late. You gotta eat fast. I'm just gonna say it. After the T-Rex gets done with these
what in doubt, T-Rex.
When the T-Rex gets done with these apes, it'll probably come and eat this thing. They're barely a snack. And they look so easy. I mean,
okay. I think like it bobs its heads once or twice, and then like does the ungainly vulture takeoff flapping.
Yeah.
And sort of like as it comes towards where we are, I hold out my hand, and as it lands on the hand, I put a hand under it, and like the smoke and the shadows dissipate, and the bones and the feathers fall into my hand, and I say,
"Oh, that's awesome.
One of the big lizards is coming. We probably don't want to be here, unless we drastically want to make some sort of pact with the elephants. We should get out of here and not attract its attention. There's a lot less meat on us, but we also look a lot more fragile than they do.
Yeah, we're an appetizer.
What does Zoan? What's his reaction to Buren's magic?
Yeah, I think he just watches it like intently, like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think he just watches it real carefully and with like a bit of awe, and like,
Yeah, I feel like what to do in the case of dinosaur attack is like like field guide 101 level stuff. Like this is something like if we haven't dealt with before, we've certainly heard about. You know, Molma was like, when the dinos come out, this is what you got to do. And I think it's like get into cover, don't be out by the river. Get to a place that's hard to. It's hard for them to navigate.
Nice.
Is there just off the riverbank? It looked like there's forest. Is it dense enough forest that we can hide from incoming dinos?
I think you've got a couple of choices, right? You can go northwest deeper into the jungle, or actually southwest into the jungle, or you can like head into the lake and hope the fucker doesn't swim.
Yeah.
And I think the horned tree is like, casting a bad shadow. I think at this point you can see that the island where the horned tree is has all kinds of bones on it, and looks like a place of death. And there are times where certain spurs that come off of it, like you swear that they move.
Ooh.
So anyway, but or you could, yeah.
So swim closer to that,
right?
or run backwards, retreat into the jungle.
Yeah.
So I think I have a different suggestion. I think we just well actually, like if that's what the people are suggesting as our options, I add an option that people may not be aware of, which is what I say is we could also try to press on and like head north and away from where the thing is, and I can try to keep us hidden from its sight for a little bit of time, at least long enough. Like they don't have great eyesight and they mostly notice motion. I think that if we can get out of like where it can see, why yes, I've seen Jurassic Park. If we can get past where it can see, we'll probably be safe.
Nice. Do you want to just kind of you're looking to hoof it?
Yeah. Well, we'd have to move actually somewhat slowly.
Okay.
I can.
Oh, I see.
I can cover us in shadows and I can blur us, but I cannot like making us completely invisible is outside of that's great magic. What I can do is confuse beasts that already may not have the best eyesight. Yeah. Like I can give us the edge. But like not true invisibility is something that would take a lot more time than we have.
Yeah. I think we're pull up the map for a second. We're in we're still have sort of jungle to our west side. I think we try to get into the shadows of the edge of it, the shadows of that jungle, so you can amplify them, so you can wrap them around us.
So I think Judd is saying that we're like 2 hexes north of the number 10.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And so like that's why Judd says the thick, dense forest is south and southwest of us.
Got it.
What I'm saying is if we can get into the tree line, I can use the shadows of the tree line to cloak us, right? Like basically allow us to be dappled like some sort of spotted deer or a tiger or something, and basically just like meander through there, doing our shtick.
I put my faith in my little brother's magic. That will keep us alive. I'm not, I think that's stronger forces than any others. He wields potent magics. We lost Jay for a second, but I'm wondering if Stazoin and Hadna will.
Well, if we lost Jay for a second, I can negotiate a thing with Judd because we have to talk about degrees of magic here in a second.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so magic is on page 7. It's on the left. And what I am saying is that I would like to keep us hidden, sort of in the same fashion as if somebody had like a blind, sort of like, you know, big bushes and whatnot. So one of the arcane foci that I have is the word shadow. And so what I would like to do is weave shadows around us and strengthen shadows around us and have them follow us and protect us, like in the sense giving us like bonuses to being all super stealth. So like that's what I would like to do. And now you have to tell me what degree of magic it is, because it can be a cantrip, an invocation, a ritual, or a miracle. And you can read them there.
Yeah. Let's make this definitely a conversation. It feels kind of like a ritual.
Okay. I was hoping that it would be an invocation because if the effects can be reproduced, well, actually maybe. Why do you think that it would be a ritual? So like a ritual is the equivalent, is something that would require like a pile of people to do. So like bashing a castle gate open, shooting a fireball from a catapult, that kind of stuff. An invocation is an effect that can be reproduced by an individual with appropriate equipment, such as creating light equivalent of a torch, firing a magical arrow, or climbing a smooth wall.
That's why I said I wanted it to be a conversation. Absolutely. I can deal with an invocation. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
The reason I want it to be an invocation is not so much the difficulty, but because the casting time is 1 round as opposed to 10 minutes.
Yep.
So I wanna bring something to like a more. I was hoping to go for a reasonable level. If you thought that I was asking for too much, we could talk about what I could reduce it to, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well,
so if
I'm curious, Joe. Do we have a sense of like they're about to bust through the bushes any moment, or is this like they're coming soon?
I think it's who knows? Like, you know, the mastodons have run. It could be here any second. Yeah.
Right. Got it. Cool.
All right, cool. So I am going to. So the base difficulty is 2, so I need to hit a 2 or better, and I add 1 negative die to the test. So I believe I start with 1. I get 1 automatically, right?
Right.
Do you feel like there are any additional negative dice that could be interfering?
I think the horn. I think in the shadow of the horn tree. I think the horn tree is giving
has its own magic. It makes my magic more difficult. That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I start with 3 mind, and I would like to point out that I'm a wizard, which is like my high concept.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be rolling 4v3 dice. Well, that's good. That's less good.
Less good.
Okay, so I don't know. Now we see if Judd is kind. So in good news, I rolled 2 6s, so I get 2 boons. Holy cow! In bad news, I rolled a 6 on the negatives, which means that you get a what's it called?
A setback.
A setback. Yeah. So I would like to spend 1 of my boons immediately.
Yeah.
To add +3 from my mind to this roll, so that I'll actually succeed as opposed to just pushing at a 0, which means that at a 0 I fail because I need to roll 2 or better, right? So like I have to spend my boon immediately, and then I think that what I would like to say is I would like to spend my other boon to sort of extend this effect to everyone in the party. So so that it's because like one of the things that. Because I'm being realistic with this invocation. Invocation says 1 person, right? And like ritual is like many people. And so if I would have like 1 person following me around with like a fake bush kind of protecting me and like covering my escape, maybe like this additional boon can like spread the effect to the other people in the party, if that's cool.
It is cool. And I'm going to save for my, I'm going to spend my.
You can also save it if you want to make our lives miserable later. Just mentioning that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think casting magic in the
I do attract negative things to me.
I think you've attracted negative attention, and
that sounds great.
And you can feel that something is kind of behind your eyes watching, like through your eyes.
Awesome.
And that'll, either be a thing or not be a thing. We'll see.
I have attracted the attention of something in the shadow of the horn tree
Yes.
that definitely now has a tap into me because I've cast magic in this this
Yep.
land that it claims.
I feel like as we're walking along, I feel like as we're walking along, I can almost imagine like the sun shifting as we move and the shadow of the tree following us as we're creeping along. Yeah.
But like if you look, the sun is still in exactly the same position and it should not be casting that kind of shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think as you get into the shadow of the jungle, a T-Rex comes out of the jungle and sniffs the air and squints its eyes, and rather than come hunting for you, which it would have done if you had not cast this, it goes over to the dead mastodon where the proto vultures were, and scatters them, and then starts eating, and gives out a mighty roar, and then 5 T-Rex young T-Rexes about 3 foot high come out and start fighting over pieces of meat. And I think like maybe some of them are even a little bit too young, so the parent T-Rex kind of masticates the food and drops it on the ground, and you see this National Geographic moment as you skulk away in the magic shadows. And
nice.
And then I think we need to traverse this hex, right?
Yeah.
So
Sean, you wanna give us another traversal?
I'm happy to do that. Yeah. I don't know, unless Jay, you wanted to jump in and be like, I know these lands. But yeah, I'm happy to.
No, I think you're the wayfinder. I don't know if there's help in this game. I think there
was. I think you can spend so vitality is our hit points, but it's also something we can burn for bonus dice if we feel like our rolls are kind of gonna be poopy. And I think there was like you can spend vitality to help other people too. I think was
you
in
can
there
also
somewhere.
you can use boons to help somebody. I was going to with your spell, but you already rolled it. You can grant a positive die to another character's next test as long as you can justify it narratively.
That's cool.
That is cool.
So boons are.
So if you roll lots of 6s, it's extra good. All right, that's awesome.
It's good to have those. Good to have them boons. I'm happy. How much vitality do we have? Where is vitality?
So my vitality is 9, which means that it's 10 plus body.
Got it.
And the way it works is when you rest, you regain vitality. So 6 hours, 10 minutes, or roughly a week in a safe haven is how you gain vitality back. Roughly a week in a safe haven is how you get all the googies back. Everything else is like you get 1d3 vitality plus something back or whatever. Nice. I'd have to look it up, the exact detail, but I was like, oh, they have short rests and like long rests. That's pretty cool. I was like, cool. I got it, game. Thank you.
All right. So I think it's the same thing. I'm going to be wayfinding. I'm going to use my mind, my wayfinding talent.
Nice.
I don't think that finding a home for my family applies in this case. Last time I did, it was like right after this very important event that had just, the star was falling. It felt very portentous. And so I thought my motivation was applying then, but I don't feel like it is now. I mean, it's just the normal finding our way kind of thing. So I think I'm just rolling that. Judd, what are my negative dice?
Shadow of the horn tree. And I'm gonna say that because we're like in the shadow of the jungle, I think this is a jungle, so the difficulty is 3.
Oh goodness. Okay. So I'm rolling 4 negative dice.
No. You need to get a 3. You need to get a 3 differential, I believe.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah.
1 negative die, and I need to get a differential of 3.
You're correct.
Got it. All right. I got it. I killed it. I got a 6 on my positive die. and a 2 on my negative die. So I got a differential of 4.
Cool.
So we should absolutely be able to go where we're planning to go and not get lost.
Yeah.
Yes. You managed to not like get crossed over into the jungle, and I imagine that you are, you know, there is a hex that is like northwest of number 4, and that is like kind of where I put you. You're still kind of along the lake, but you
There's
haven't
something
like
fancy at number 1.
There
Carry on,
is.
sorry.
Yeah. We're just southwest of 1, right?
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like I think because you're staying in the jungle and you've kind of stuck to the shadows with this invocation, you've probably seen the people of Lake It, you know, you're paddling along the river and doing some fishing and like, you know, bringing their load back as the sun goes down. You can you know, how do you want to camp? Do you want to camp like, hey, you know, we're here, and you know, if you want to come say hi, great, or do you want to camp kind of quietly? What are you thinking?
Sorry, I have to get my angles right. I think that's gonna have to be Hedna's call. I think
Yeah.
Buren, as we exit the jungle, because we've been walking under these
Mhm, mhm.
shadows, like exhales and like wipes the sweat off his brow because he's like maintaining the spell for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like almost a day. And
I think
he's
to the point where John
exhausted.
is concerned. He's like, do you need water? Can we keep going? Like John has probably like had to checked in with you a couple times along the way, seeing how you're tapping your reserves to do this.
So I look at Hedna and I say, we know none of the people in this region.
Yeah.
What do you know about these? Judd, what would you refer to this village as? Like, are they like hunters? Are they lake people because they're on a lake? What's their thing?
Right. And what would
yeah,
Hadna know?
they make boats, and
cool.
they
Yeah,
float
so they're
out
like fisher folk.
Yeah, they're fisher folk on the lake. Yeah.
What do you know about these, like, you know, water travelers? As it were?
Yeah. What would I know? What would Hadna know?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
You would know that they live in houses built on stilts in case the lake and the river flood.
Right.
And that they, you know, they're fisher folk who make boats, and they have I think a pretty well known elder and healer,
okay.
named
Nice.
Brickla, who is known because she has tamed a triceratops. Like,
wow.
people
Yes.
people come from all over to be like,
Okay.
really, and she's like, there it is.
There it is.
Does the triceratops have a name?
It does now.
I mean, it's gotta, if it lives in a village and like helps them.
Yeah. Its name is Skaroo.
I have to tell you, I'm having like the most intense Dinotopia flashbacks.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
Judd,
Nice.
I think one of the things you can spend boons for is to gain insight about circumstances.
Yeah.
As long as they're narratively justified. I've been wayfinding this whole day, and I think at some point I've seen all these people on the boats, and at some point I locked out, like we stepped out of the shadows just enough that they saw us, and I like locked eyes with one of them. And I'd like to spend an insight to get a sense of their disposition towards people they don't know. Like, when the person saw me, they're like, shit, get the fuck out of here? Or were they like pulling out weapons? Or were they like curious? You know, and that was, you know, probably happened earlier in the day, but I think it makes sense that I might have gotten a sense of how they would respond to strangers.
Yeah, I think that the sense you got is that they're fairly friendly to strangers, and that the other feeling you got when you nodded to like the old person on the boat is that or the eldest on the boat, is that they're expecting people to be coming through.
Okay.
They saw the star too. They
Mhm.
know it crashed northeast of them. They figured people might be coming through to go after it.
Yeah. I say. I think I just when Bruin, when you're asking Hadna about it, I think I'll just bring in like the anecdote that they saw us while we were going. We fooled the dinosaurs, but we can't travel for a whole day without being seen, and they seemed friendly enough to me. But still looking at you, Hadna, as like, but you're going to be the one to introduce us, clearly.
Right. Would it be feasible that maybe there's some trade between my village and the lake people?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah, you probably like grab smoked fish, and they grab stuff from the jungle that isn't good for them to get. Yeah.
Right. All right.
Or
Cool.
they don't know how to get.
All right. So, yeah. So Hadna says there's some small trade between us. I think they're friendly enough. They might let us camp with them for the night and pass through. Let's go see.
Cool.
Yeah. Following
yeah, I think they, a bit of a cry goes out, and people kind of stick their heads out of their huts. But there's three of you, and you're coming in, pretty open, and four, right? Because of
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I think they give you the body language is very open and friendly, and finally riding on the back of a triceratops comes an old woman, Brickla, and I think it's kind of
Is there anything
snorting.
fancy about this triceratops? Like,
Yeah.
Do like the kids leave little like colored handprints on it? Like,
oh, totally.
Is there
Love
a way
that.
to tell that it's not like a normal triceratops, or does it just like a giant triceratops charges at us, and then at some point we realize there's like a woman?
Oh no. I think she walks it out and totally shows off. And
of course.
I think yeah, they've definitely decorated the horns with like paint, and I love the idea of the handprints. There are definitely like kids' handprints. Like I think one of the games that the kids in the town play is like you paint your hand and then like go touch the triceratops, like it's a big deal. And a kid hasn't been trampled doing that in like a year, so like it seems pretty safe.
This is like cow tipping, huh?
Yeah, it's a generational thing. Like, oh, when I was growing up, we used to touch triceratops. Like, if you don't let your kid do it, you're making them soft.
Right. You're making them soft. What are you doing?
Totally
There's a graph artist, like one of the like founders of modern tagging, Cornbread is his name, and he apparently at one point people thought he was dead, and so he went and tagged an elephant in a zoo just to be like, Cornbread is alive.
He's alive.
And
wow, that's amazing. That's some serious cred.
Yeah, and he was like, I was really scared that it was going to trample me, but I had to do it.
No, you didn't, Cornbread.
That's right.
But it's still pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the idea of the handprints, and yeah, I think the horns are painted white to let you know that like they're not bloody, and this thing isn't killing anybody, but it could. And yeah, Brickla, proudly rides the, kind of saunters the triceratops, up to you guys, and then slides down, and gives it a treat, and gives it some berries that it takes and walks away and starts eating happily, and makes weird cooing noises that you didn't know triceratops could make, and she comes over and says, "Welcome to Lekit. I guess you are following the star, hmm?"
Yes, we are. Thank you for welcoming us. My friends, they're from a land that is scarred by a star.
I'm sorry. We living in the shadow of the Horned Spire, we understand. Things that come from the sky aren't necessarily welcome.
It feels like this the spire has some gloom cast upon it. It feels like it's haunted us all day as we've traveled. Is it truly as ill portentous as it appears, or do you just use that to scare away would be raiders?
Yeah, she makes a sign and says, "Come, you have to sit and eat before I can tell you about something so ugly." And I think she like sits you down and feeds you some fish and some fresh water, and
Nice.
and says, "We did not build that. I do not think. I do not think any. I do. I would not. I would not want to live in a village of people who could build such a thing. It's like a sign of some kind of infection in the ground, and I believe that whatever is infection caused the Horned Spire. I believe it is also infecting the mother tree itself. The mother tree is sick."
I look at Stetzoa, right? Because I'm learning something new, and these are not in my lore keeping records.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I look at him to fill in.
He shakes his head and he says, "Brickla, you've been saying that the mother tree is sick for years, and yet here we are. We're still here." She says, "That's how sickness works, Stazoan. Things get gradually sick and sicker. You don't just die right away very often. There are signs." And he just like, you can tell that like he's been hearing this for years at the gatherings, and he hasn't been bringing it back.
Mm.
And he said, "Yes, Brickla, and yeah, possibly history's first B words be crazy is to Zoan, who if you didn't like him before, now you definitely don't like him."
Now you definitely, yes. How
yeah.
sick is the mother tree? I ask her.
I think it's bad. I think it's worse than we think.
Can it be reversed?
How long has this infection been here? How long is this? These aren't our lands, but that spire looks like it's ancient. Is this new to your lands?
It's not.
I think I'm referring to all the bones around it, and
Yeah. It's been here for as long as we've been here. But I believe it's a sign of something. I believe it's a sign of a sickness. Not all agree with me, she says, looking at Stazoan.
So, just so that I'm clear, the tower is unrelated to the Blue Star in any way, right? I'm asking out of character. Like,
oh yeah. She doesn't have any proof that they have anything to do with one another, right?
Okay, and do we know roughly which direction the Blue Star is in? Is it like north of us? Is it like?
Yeah, it's kind of still northeast.
Okay. Okay. Let me look at the map one more time.
No, actually, I think it's just. I think it's east. I think it's about 2 hexes east. So.
Okay, so like
maybe,
9-ish.
Right above 9.
Right above 9 in that like
Gotcha.
valley looking thing. Yeah, notch.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
I think Drawn is. I'll just say it. We don't know what we'll find when we arrive at the Blue Star, but stars falling are always portents, for good or ill. There may be some knowledge learned when we found it. would you like to send someone? I'm now in like party building mode. Like, yeah, let's bring someone from every world.
Come with us.
Would you like to send someone from Leckett to travel with us? One of your lore keepers, perhaps, to learn of the Fallen Star firsthand.
Brickless says there were young folk who have itchy feet who wanted to go when it fell so close to us, but I recommended that they not go. I won't stop you from talking to them though. But
have they already left? Are they on the? Will we find them on the way? Or are they still?
Oh no. I talked them out of going. But if you wish to speak to them, you may. But I will speak against you.
Yeah, I was just saying. It seems like she's tacitly giving us permission to challenge her.
Yeah. Look,
you can try.
but not like seriously. Like you'll be like, young people, there is adventure and coolness. Usually like, young people, remember your families that you have to fish.
Yeah.
And then one of you will be more like convincing. It's not like fuck your elders and also I stab her.
It's not a ritual.
Trampled by
ritual combat. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, John's pretty torn because on the one hand, he absolutely is like, yeah, stay home, take care of your family. Like he pretty much agrees with her sentiment. On the other hand, like somebody's got to know what this, like someone from their village should know the portent. So I think he's
all right. So before we go, I think just amongst us as a party, I think this is the first time Buren's spoken in the village, and Buren is actually looking at Hadna and says, she's talking about a mother tree, which I'm not familiar with, but are we continuing to go to the Blue Star?
Yes.
Okay. So, because like I don't need to ask Drawn until I know that there is inter-party conflict.
Yeah.
So before we divert and head south to the crooked horned tree or whatever it's called to try and figure out what's going on with the mother tree. All right. Yeah, that's great. Let's all right, cool. In which case, carry on, gentlefolk, with party building and whatnot.
Yeah, I think Hadna says to Brickell, I will respect your wishes with your people. So if you do not wish to send someone, I won't ask.
That is very diplomatic of you, Hadna.
When we return, I will share what we learned.
Thank you.
Is the lake water safe to drink?
It is. In this part of the river, it is. Yes. You don't want to drink too much south of the Horned Spire, because the way the water flows, it makes people sick and their teeth fall out and they die.
Important safety tip. Thank you, Egon. Sorry.
Judd, it's always fun when I see the causality click in your head where you're like you don't want to do it, and then you're like, okay, now I figured out what it is. It's like they get sick, they get sick and they die.
Check.
Oh, I know what it is now. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
No, it's great.
Gee, I wonder if that's why there's piles of bones on that island. No. Good. I would like to fill up my water skin, and we should probably, as a group, start thinking about if we have anything to trade for food while we're here.
I'm getting the sense that they're feeding us.
Yeah, tonight.
So that
but I have one ration left in me after this. So like,
you have 3 food, right?
You start with 3 food, but we've traveled 2 days.
Right, but
you have to eat 1 food a day, or you have to make toasts.
Yeah, I just saying. My suspicion is that they're. Well, I guess we would have eaten earlier in the day, and it's abstracted. Yeah. Okay.
I counted by hex, Sean, roughly. So like we traveled from that. Like we traveled north 1 jungle, then north 1 from the predators, and then like now we're in the village. So like I marked off 2 food because I thought that was about right.
No, that's what I did too. I marked off 2, but maybe since Raquel isn't going to send anyone, and I'm saying that's cool. I will bring you knowledge back. Will you provide a day or two worth of food that we could take with us? Right.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
exchange for this knowledge, we're going
A
to bring
couple of
back.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They will totally do that. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think that's just good manners. Yeah.
Right.
All right, cool. I'm going to refill my food to 3.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll bring your souvenir back. Some Skyrock.
Yeah, she definitely seems uncomfortable, but all right.
Yeah, I sort of look down at my chest when you say that. My father's lodestone. It's it's always pretentious, but it's good and bad. It's yeah, you never know what it's going to mean. But I'm sure Hadna wants to bring some back for his daughter. So it's like I don't think it's convinced you out of this. At least not yet. Not till you see the horror.
That's right. I'm like, ooh, I'm not bringing that back.
Yeah, right. I carefully do not look at the burn scars on my hands and arms. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm happy to make camp.
Yeah.
Stay with them and head out in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. I think most villages have a have a place, have a an extra lean-to where travelers can stay, especially people who live along a lake. And so yeah, you are welcomed, and I think they play they play they try to teach you their game, which has to do with an oar and a rock and hitting the rock with the oar and
river ball.
Yeah. Yeah. They try to teach you river ball, and there's like twine around a fish skull. It's complicated. Yeah. And I think there's definitely like a horned totem thing on the field where you don't want to touch it. Otherwise you lose a turn or something. It's Neolithic game design, but it's fun. It's all right.
They have some sweet game designers in this village.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm imagining like a hacky sack kind of thing where you got to keep the ball up in the air with the oars, and it doesn't, like, you can't really rest it very well. Like really good players can balance it, like they can hold it.
Totally.
But like most people are just like getting it in the top potato. As soon as you get it, you toss it in the next.
You have to have a teammate block for you.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. One part lacrosse.
Yeah, lacrosse, frisbee golf.
Yeah,
hacky sack. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I like the hacky sack, like communal, keep the thing up vibe. That feels very in the spirit of Lackett. Very cool. Yeah, and I think like as the night goes on, someone steps up and says, we should be sending someone with them. And Brickla says, we're sending them with food. They'll bring news back. There's no reason for us to go. And the person and this, I think it's someone, a little bit younger than Brickla. And she's like, I want a duel over this. She says, okay, choose your weapon. And she says, she picks up like an oar with a sharpened edge. She says, I choose my oar. She says, and I choose
a Triceratops.
I choose Skirloo. Are you sure you want to do this? And she says, no. And I think like this is how arguments happen here is like, pick your weapon. I have a Triceratops.
Challenge me all day long.
Yeah. And I think and I think Brickla is also a pretty reasonable person. So, she has stayed where she is. But in the morning, I think, all the fisher folk wake up and are getting their boats ready. And, it's time for you to head out.
Nice.
Anything in particular you want to do?
I think I want to, I think because John's so like kind of obsessed with what whatever they find with the star. I think I want to find that person that like backed down from the challenge.
Yeah.
And tell them whatever you find, whatever we find with the star, it's bound to change our lives in ways that cannot be foreseen. Only the heavens know what these stars will do. Do you have a question that you need answered? Is there something that you can only find answers from in the heavens? I will ask when we arrive, if that is possible. You know, if it is a question I can carry for you. Because I think if they're just like, I want to go see the shiny star, fuck this.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think her name is Fenna. The challenger's name is Fenna.
Cool.
And she says, I dreamed of the star for many days before it fell. I feel like I can't help but feel like whatever fell from the sky is like a scout from a village that is greedy and wants to take people away from your village. You know, those types of villages.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great aunt who came from the north, and she said there were many places like that with raiders. And I feel like when I had my dream, that was the feeling I had.
And you wonder if this star is a sign of invaders, of raiders coming to your
of a scout. Yes, a scout with many eyes. I don't know how else to say it. Eyes like needles. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain.
We won't know until we see it.
I'm just a fool with a sharp oar. I have to go fish. Good luck. I'm sorry we can't come to one with you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, give me some, give me your oar, and I'll bring it to the crater to find out for you. But I think it's like, oh well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, she says I might need it in the days to come.
You might. I'll tell you if when we return, we'll let you know if we find needles. Eyes like needles.
Cool.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I think let's make a travel roll.
That's awesome.
Sean, do the do.
Over to you.
That's right. Do the do.
I think we're in the plains now. Yeah. It's pretty easy.
All right.
It's a 0.
It's a 0 difficulty, and one trouble die, or one negative die.
0. I think it's 0 trouble dies too.
It's always a minimum of 1. Remember that
minimum of
no
1?
matter
okay.
what your negatives or any other penalties are, you always roll a minimum of 1 positive and 1 negative.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad it was 0 difficulty because it was a very marginal success. I 3 on my positive and 1 on my negative die. So
yeah. Cool. Yeah, you take them across, and I think like at the end of the day, you know, where you camp, you can see smoke rising, you know, where the crater is, where this thing landed. And you could probably like push through the night and you know, for a few hours traveling in darkness and get there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
I think we actually want to find it at night because we want to see the ember, the glow. You know, the star, I'm sure, is faded, but I bet it's still glowing, and we're going to be able to really see it.
No, I'm in.
We're going to be able to see the truth of it. We're going to see the hidden meanings of it at night that we won't be able to see during the day.
Nice.
So yeah, Hadna, you're down.
Yes, I agree.
Baron,
Hadna concurs.
will you carry on?
I'm ready.
All right.
Cool.
Assuming Suzoan does not slow us down. Yeah, we keep on through the night.
Oh, he's not going to slow us down. I will drag him.
Yeah, no, Stazoan does not slow you down. Yeah. I think there's another. I think that we need like another kind of another role to like get to like navigate there by the stars.
Another wayfinding? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just keeping us honest. So I believe we're down 1 food and water because we traveled today.
Yeah.
Is that correct, John?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
And then
So we shall be at 2 of both, right? Because we were able to refill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should be good. All right. Cool.
Awesome.
I'm waiting.
Yeah,
I'm now nervous because now I'm waiting for Jed to bust out that random camera roll.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm trying to find adequate place. Nope, that's not a coaster. It was a black thing that turned out not to be a coaster. It turned out to be a piece of. Okay, sorry. I'm having tea delivered. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too. On stream.
On stream. The stream loves you.
Yes, stream loves you as well.
It's Twitch official now. Like now it's
now you all know that Karen, my wife, and I love each other. Sure. All right. Yeah. I like it, and I feel like at night is really. I feel like during the day, Drawn like has to do a lot of like guessing, and there's a lot of like, okay, I hope this sign means we're close to the water. I hope this sign means we're heading the right direction. There's lots of times when he's like pulling out the lodestone and checking with it, and at night he's just like I see the star and just like he just knows. He doesn't have to look up at it that often, like every once in a while, but like most of the time he just like can feel the stars above him and just like we just charges forward. So in the day we moved at pretty normal speed, but at night like we're not running, but we're like, yeah, I think he's very drawn to this.
yeah.
So what's how many negative dice am I rolling here?
1 for just because, and then an extra 1 for the stars fell influence. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna roll my normal mind and wayfinder, but I think I'm also gonna bring back in now that we're close again. Again, I didn't do it in the middle time, but now that we're close again, looking for a home for my family, I feel like this is very tied to my motivation. If this star is a good portent, we might have a home here.
Right.
And I want to bring in Dutiful Brother, but it still doesn't feel quite.
Oh, give it another 5 minutes. The moment something pounces me and I go, ah! You'll get plenty of bonuses out of it.
All
I'm
right,
sure.
I succeeded by 2. Is that what's the difficulty?
I think we're still in the plains. I think we're still in the plains. So like it's a difficulty 0.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then
and the other thing I think you found is you found tracks making you think that someone the village you passed in the south sent people, and you think they got there first.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's enough star for everybody.
Yeah. I think I like point at them, but then it's like, hey, look, and then just keep moving. Like it's not gonna slow us down.
Yeah. And I think you get there to see the aftermath of the people from Ferric who arrived at the star before you. I think one of their warriors with a spear and a shield has a you don't know what the hell it is. The only time you've seen a substance like this was was the necklace and thing around Buren's neck and arm, because it's metal, and it's like it's like a metal needle like through their shoulder, and
when you say needle, do you mean like sewing needle size, or do you mean
no,
like
I mean like
hard?
like a long 3-foot dart.
Yeah,
like a spike.
Yeah, spike. More than
so
a
is this
needle.
person dead?
They're walking, but they're like it's I think it's through their chest. It's a bad wound, and you don't know how much longer
Would
they're
a
going to be there.
normal person be able to walk with a needle through their chest like that?
You've seen weirder shit happen. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm trying to understand if we're dealing with a zombie or if we're dealing with like a wounded man.
It's not a zombie.
Look, it's an alien star with metal through someone's chest. He could be controlling him. For all I know, this is some like weird space antenna. Look, it's Stone Age fantasy. Let's
yeah. No. You're not. It's not a zombie.
Right.
I think like they are bleeding a bit out of their mouth.
Right.
And I think when you see them, they drop their spear, and I think when they see you, they're murmuring to themselves, and they say, "I've got to get home. I've got to get home."
I think Hadna reaches for his water skin and runs over to the person and sets him down. Right. Because he's not going to make it home, is he?
He's not going to make it home if that thing through his chest. I mean, that's sorry.
Yeah, and I think like when you sit him down, you realize that the thing in his chest is glowing blue.
Oh, Judd. So the metal bands I pulled out of the last meteor, what nuked our home village, banner. And so I think I reach my I'm letting Hadna do the conscientious thing, talk to him, remind him of home, say whatever is necessary and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I sort of reach my hands out and sort of try to use my arcane senses to see if this is a mystic focus or if it's or if it's because the only metal I've ever seen turned out to be magical foci, right? I'm testing to see
reasonable assumption.
Nice. Yeah. And I will keep the guy.
I think the guy, I think it's a young woman, and she says, no, don't touch that. And let's roll some dice and see how this goes.
Great. What is it? Is it just like a mind test to figure out, or can I apply wizard to it?
Yes, you can.
All right. And obviously I start with one negative die. Are there any other negative dice?
There's one negative die because I think there could be a point where this ferric villager doesn't want you to do something.
Great. Yeah, so she's making it difficult. Yeah, I love it. All right, I'll roll 2 negative dice. My big pile of positives, because this is what I'm good at.
Yeah.
I get a 1 differential.
Okay. I think Buren touches it, and what we know as a heads up display comes up on what is called a tracking spike, but what Buren sees is the astrological spirit map that comes up when you touch it, and that this is like a map to this thing's power, but the viewers at home are like, oh shit, that's a heads up display. And for some reason, Buren's metal is allowing Buren to
Well, we could even say that as I reach my hands forward, the HUD pops up above this thing.
Yeah.
And we could even say that the metal on my bands shows sigils that are similar to whatever's written on. It's clear that it's the same technological base. And so one of the words that I have is message. So nice. I can actually I guess the other word I could have picked was converse, but I thought the message seemed more appropriate. So I could send messages and receive messages, that kind of thing.
Nice.
So maybe that's a thing that I can do is I can actually understand this.
Yeah. And I think you can tell that like you're looking at this. You can tell that this came from Tegra.
Is it, when you say Tegra, do you mean like my sister Tegra? What is
Yeah.
haunting me? Okay,
Yeah.
great. So I see letters that effectively like spell out her name or her mark. The mark
Yeah.
of the blue star is like maybe in the upper right corner or something.
Yep.
Is that what you're
Yep.
saying, or
Yep.
is it
That's
like
what I'm saying.
more?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Is this something only Buren sees, or can everyone see this?
I think the rest of you see like lights and
Gotcha.
and fire in the air, and
Or no,
Buren
that's
can
good.
touch it, and it's
Yeah.
scary.
All right.
Like, yeah.
I think
Because
Drawn.
I don't want to see the rest of it.
I think John
Right.
is terrified about what this thing is going to do to his brother, and he's really like on the fence about like, do I let Buren do his thing? He's the wizard. He knows what's going on. Do I protect my little brother? Like, do I respect him as a wizard? Do I protect my little brother? And at some point, I don't know. It maybe you say, maybe you say her name, maybe you whisper her name or something like that, or it just seems like the lights are growing too much. And Strash, tell me, I don't want to like interfere with anything you're doing. I don't think this will, but tell me if this is going to like fuck up your next move. I want to take my fur-lined cloak and wrap it around the thing and pull it out and like envelop it in a cloak so it's like all wrapped up and not touching anyone, like to stop it from whatever it's going to do to my brother. Again, if you want to do more stuff with this,
no, it's fine. That's cool. I want to actually see like the final scene between Hadna and this villager before you and I have an argument about this, if that's cool.
Totally.
I'm assuming somebody's going to pull it out.
That's my point. Yeah,
I'm assuming someone's going, and I'm trying to comfort her because I don't know if she's going to live through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the event that she doesn't, I'm trying to get her name, her family, so I can, take her message back.
Yeah. And I think she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go see them. I need to go see them. I need to go see them right now. As long as this thing is in me, I'm fine. I just need to go see them.
And I don't talk about it. I'm assuming one of you two are going to pull it out.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just trying to keep her.
We could also actually, Drawn, if you go to pull it out, I think Buren like holds out a hand and just says like, we can do it after she's gone. It's not a danger to us right now. It's just a message.
And I think I like look at like your glowing armbands and your
my glowing eyes.
Yeah, exactly. But I hear your voice. You sound like you. You don't sound like you're possessed or some other. You don't sound different. But I think at this moment I realize pulling it out's going to kill her, but she's going to die anyway. And I think it's freaking drawn out too much what this is doing to his brother. So it sucks to do this, but I'm ripping it out. Yeah, like you're like, oh no, you can just wait. And I'm like,
yeah, I think I think the Ferric villager, we'll call her the Ferricer, is going to fight you, Drong.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm like, brother, if this truly is a needle. A scout in the form of a needle that wants to.
It's just a message. That's fine. You totally don't believe me, and you pull it out. I love it. No, that's fine. I'm not. This is not the part where I'm arguing.
Yeah. We'll argue after. Okay. Fight me. Bring it. I wanna. What's the?
I would like to feebly attempt to grab your arm, but I would like to point out that my body is -1, and I suck at this game. So it's totally okay if you just shake me off. I'm totally cool with that.
I will do whatever I can to help. If she reaches, I try to kind of keep her stable, keep her back, because I understand one of you two are going to pull it out.
Right.
So if I can be helpful mechanically, I want to do that.
I think you can only help. Well, I guess you can spend vitality, right? I think. What was you were saying?
I think Hadna can. So Hadna can absolutely add like a negative die or something. Like negative dice can just be narrative, right? Like if you're trying to sneak in the middle of the day, you can get negative dice because it's bright, right?
Gotcha,
the same way that you can get positive dice if you're trying to sneak in like deep shadows or something, and So like, I don't know, Judd, you're gonna have to make this call. This is
Right.
not me.
Yeah. So I think Drawn is trying to pull this thing out.
Right.
I think you're going to get a positive die from Hadna,
Cool.
a negative die from Buren, and
Got
a
it.
negative die from the Ferric Villager.
Cool. And one more
And-
negative die just to start with. So I'm
And
like,
one more negative die because there's this weird otherworldly spike that is doing things
right.
that are freaking everyone out. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm rolling my 2 body. I assume this is body.
Yeah.
I'm rolling fucking dutiful brother. God damn it! I got to keep my brother.
There you go. You finally brought it in. I love it.
I'm just trying to roll that one.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna roll my goddamn dutiful brother. I don't think wayfinding or finding a home applies. Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
However, yes. So there's.
I think getting this thing out is difficulty 1.
Okay. And I'm going to. I think it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say it's difficulty 2. Yeah.
Okay. I think this totally makes sense to do because touching this thing, I think is going to be can be somewhat toxic. You can spend effort, you could spend vitality to get a positive die on a 1-for-1 basis. So I'm going to spend 2 vitality.
Nice.
Do it.
I'm hurting myself to touch this thing, I think.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And I mean, I am wrapping it in my cloak, but it might still touch me. Who knows?
I mean, it's glowing blue. We don't know the word radiation, but.
All right. Okay. So I got a 5 and a 5. So that's a 0.
Yep.
But I do have a boon, and you could spend a boon to add a relative attribute to a skill roll. So I'm going to spend the boon to add my body of 2, which is going to make a 7 and 5. So that's I'm spending that last boon, and that gets me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think you pull it out, and the blue light turns to like a yellow light. So that the heads up display goes from like, checking on her vitals and keeping her up and moving so that we can track her, and then like you pull it out, and all that goes away, and like I think Buren knows that it beeps once to say like inert, and then but Drawn thinks like, oh, I pulled it out and it's good. But like, it goes inert because its purpose was to keep someone up and moving so it could be tracked.
Right.
And then the Ferricer starts to die. She starts to have convulsions.
Yeah. I don't know if you can help her, Adna.
I try to keep her at ease, at peace, as she makes her journey from this world to the next.
Cool. Yeah. I think she dies, but there's someone there with her. Hadna's there with her. That's cool.
So Judd, before this, let me just make sure. So obviously there were vitals and whatnot at the end there, but you mentioned that there was like a map of a power source and stuff before that.
I don't know about a map of a power source, but like I called it a map because I was trying to give Drawn and Hadna like a
reference points or whatever.
Yeah. So I called the heads up display a map just because.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was okay. So there is no like directives for like where this came from, aside from the sigils in the corners or whatever. Like this is not like a star map or like a direction.
No.
I did not get the Zelda. There's a head.
No.
Okay.
You it came from the falling star.
Okay.
Like you absolutely know it came from it. But yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And I think like you guys are like on the, the fallen star has fallen and there's a crater and you're like on the, lower part of the crater. And then if you go up over it, that's where the star is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this all happened like, on the lower part of the crater where the late Ferric villager had climbed over and come out. And yeah, I think the evening is bathed in blue light of the star.
Yeah. Despite the fact that it's inert, I think just out of an abundance of fear and caution, Drawn has like wrapped his cloak around this thing, so now it's fully enveloped.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and he looks back to Buren to see like, is his armband still glowing? Is he still fucking lit up?
No, it probably deactivated right around the same time that the thing you did.
Yeah. So in my mind, I've just saved you from whatever the fuck.
Oh, clearly, yes.
I just saved you.
I mean, please tell me I'm wrong, but like this is confirmation bias for John right now that he's like, cool. I saw this thing affecting my brother. I pulled it out. It stopped. Yay! I did my job. What does Buren do?
You know what? Maybe we are going to have an argument here. I think Buren's just like, Drawn, you're being an idiot. Like, I'm the one that understands these things. You should listen to me when I talk about it. Like, I trust you to guide us. You should trust me to be able to like read the signs. Like, that's why I'm here. It's not because, you know, I talk better than Hedna or can do more push-ups than you.
I trust you. I do trust. And I look down at your hands and I say, the last time you reached into the fires of the Star Metal, you didn't gain those without a cost. And in my mind, I associate your foci, which give you power, with your burned hands. Right?
That is correct, because I assumed that's how I got. That's what I was implying when I suggested
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm just like, yeah, this is. I see it as like this thing's gonna harm you, and
that's how wizards do.
This is a loud conversation, right?
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
I think Buren tried starting with whispers, which you can still hear, and I think that it's like slowly escalated to the point where Buren's just like, we would not have made it out of the burning lands had I not done that. Like, yes, our father would have done it. If I had completed my training, maybe my initiations would have been more peaceable. But I have to do what I have to do. If we're going to find out if this area is safe for our people, then you have to let me do the things that I'm supposed to do.
Aren't you enough right now? Do you need to give up everything? Do you need to follow the same way as our father? Do I need to lose my one last brother just so you can gain this magic?
It's not your decision to make, Drawn.
The villager Fena had a dream that a needle, and he looks at like the lump that, you know, is this cloak on the ground, that a needle was the eyes like needles were coming to invade this place. You know, they had the dream upon the night of the starfall. Whatever this is, it is not our friend. Does not mean us well. And I think with that, John like takes the bundle, like somehow like twists it and wraps it even tighter, like somehow that's going to keep it safer, and then like hands it to you, like hands you his cloak with it's all wrapped up, like you're going to do what you're going to do with it. You know, you gotta. But it's hoping you'll leave it wrapped up in the cloak. But
well, actually, let me just verify, Judd. So like, I know that this is like I could read the message inside this thing.
Yeah.
But like, I know that it's not like a focus of any sort, right? As far as I can tell. Like, it's not an arcane object in and of itself, right?
I think it is. I think.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. I think it definitely is.
Does it have a word associated with it?
Oh, it definitely will.
Oh man, Scout, right? It's got.
Yeah, I think Scout.
Oh, okay.
Or spy or something like that. Like
spy, yeah.
It's totally
okay.
What she said it was.
Those were not any of the words I could get before. Okay.
I think spy is a good one.
Spy.
Yeah, I like spy too.
Okay.
That's good and bad.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have one load open, so I'm going to take an arcane focus that grants me the words. That grants me the word spy, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have to like attune to it like when you got these, obviously they hurt you really badly. Is that an abnormality that?
Well, the way that I was just conceiving it is the fact that like the meteor that fell was some kind of molten nonsense, and I didn't fully understand it. I was just like winging it. I thought it was cool.
No, I dig it.
No, it's actually not. Like you can just get foci. Now the thing is that as a wizard, you're limited by load, right? Like you can't carry that many.
Right.
So you take which ones you think are going to be useful on a mission, and you can be like all sorts of different things based on which words you have. Cool. So, Judd, can I ask this? Could we use the word scry instead of spy? Would that be appropriate?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
great. Sweet. All right, cool. In which case, I ask you too if you would be willing to give me like 10 minutes.
Nice.
And so, Judd, the thing that I would like to do is this is a lot like that like whooshy cam from Evil Dead or something. I want to cast a spell with Shadow and Scry and basically just like cast my senses forward and go and scout out that blue star and see what I can see that might be able to like where will our path be blocked, what kind of dangers are ahead. Like that's what I'm going to try and do with it, right?
Awesome.
So I think I'll just like sit down and I don't know why I'm doing the Conan bracer clang from I'm gonna connect the things up, and what I'd like to do is cast a spell and cast my vision forward, right? So what level of difficulty is this?
Well, it's a ritual, right? Base difficulty of 4.
Well, it can be a ritual or it could be an invocation, but I think that one of the things that these don't talk about is time. So I think it's ritual. Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a 4. I mean, I think you're trying to see something that's over the lip. I don't think it's that.
Okay, that's.
And I think you're using something.
That's fine.
You're using something from it to see into it, and so I think it's
cool.
It's a good.
So I'm going to burn 2 vitality.
Yeah.
When you say like, give me 10 minutes, I'm like, and then you're immediately going to unwrap this thing that I was just like, please don't unwrap it.
Yes.
I don't even have to unwrap it. I think I set the bundle on the ground and I put my bracers on top of it. My bracers like light up again, right?
So I think,
go on.
John's absolutely like, yes, I will, not going to interfere, but I'm definitely standing right behind you.
So, good news, everybody. I will succeed. I rolled a 3 on the highest on my failure, so I actually have a difference of 3. I did roll 1 6, and I'm gonna have to spend the boon immediately to add my stat to it. So I am going to pull it off on the ritual.
Nice.
You grab the spike and you want to go. I'm gonna put this a little out of your control, but tell me.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, no, totally.
You want to go like over the lip of this thing and like look and see if the rock is okay, and that's totally not what you do. What you end up doing is going up into the spaceship that dropped it, where your sister is.
Into the sky? Oh, wow. Okay, yes.
And like, so your sister is there and she's wearing like what we would know as like some kind of weird science fiction astronaut gear. And you've projected yourself there.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And she's there with a couple of other people who are strangers from some other village. And they say, what happened to the spike? And she goes, one of the locals must have touched it. It's gone inert. There were 4 other life forms heading for it. They look like locals. We'll hit one of them with the spike when we get it.
That's fantastic.
And you know that like she can't see you yet, like until you decide to be or does that make sense?
Awesome. Sort of. Cool. So it sounds like they're in some sort of invisible sky palace. Is that what I'm gathering?
Fantastic. Dead on.
So and is she still using?
Matter of fact, I think like when you look over their shoulders, like you see that you're in the sky, right? You see that,
sure, clouds.
Oh, that's the planet.
Yeah. I don't know that I would understand what a planet is per se,
right.
Okay. So the question that I have here is like, so is she using? So she's clearly using language I can understand, right? Like probably
Yeah.
some dialect of the burned lands or whatever. All right. So follow up question.
No, I don't think she is. I think you get the
I
feeling
understand it through wizardry, basically.
you understand
okay,
it through
okay.
wizardry. Yeah.
My message. So last but not least, I have tricks for this, but last but not least,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't see any way to go there, right? Like this is not like, okay, so like I don't see any like connection between where I am and where they are, right?
No.
Okay,
you
great.
don't.
In which case, I open my eyes again, right? And I look puzzled and confused and maybe a little angry.
Okay.
So I look at Drawn and Hedna, and I say, this isn't important. This is a message. And I tell them, right? Like I say, like, I don't know how or why, but there are people that are sending these things from a palace, like up amongst the clouds. And they do not seem to wish us well. They said that like Judd, correct me if I'm wrong. Like they said that they will use this on one of us, probably, right?
Yeah, definitely. They definitely want to put a spike in one of you. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely want to send more needles for us. I don't know if we want to craft something that'll protect us. I don't know if we want to go look at the lip, like over the lip over there. I do have a means by which we may be able to surprise them, but it'll take everything I have to get us to a place where we might be able to make a difference there.
Well,
I think there's something about the way you say people
yeah.
that Drawn knows, like there's something more personal there. He doesn't realize that it's like he can't read your mind. He doesn't know, but like there's something about when you say people that it just he just feels like it's significant. Like
for sure.
Maybe there are other wizards, or maybe like he doesn't know what it is, but he knows that something's more meaningful there. But he can't understand exactly. And he said, if they want to know all about us, we should learn about them. And kind of looks over at the lip, because you weren't, like you say, you weren't able to see over into it. Like we need to learn who they are to keep our family safe.
So Hadna says, do they want to know more about us or you? And he points at the two of you.
They said there were 4 of us, so it must be all of us that they're looking to put a spike in. And I look around as if I was expecting that there might be more life signs.
Right.
Yeah.
He says, but you two are more than just travelers now, yeah?
We are some of the few survivors of another starfall. It can't be coincidence. Perhaps we are your salvation, and we can save your families from the same dark from the same dark past that we had, or perhaps we are a doom, and perhaps we are Bane, and we'll doom you to the same fate that we had. I don't know. I've been trying to read the stars to find out.
I think Buren goes to say something and then shuts up again. And like you notice like a furtive glance towards what the hell is like the dude what we're dragging with us?
Stazoan.
Stazoan, yeah. Buren like is basically like tries to like when you're more than travelers. Like Buren's like, and then like stops, and then like Drawn is like, we are survivors of another starfall, and Buren's like, and then like stops again, like looks at Stazoan, and then perhaps we there's something related to what happened. I was like, so like it's pretty clear that I'm like sitting on something here.
Right.
Yeah. I think like the only thing Stazoan has done is every once in a while when you two have been like talking your crazy moon talk. Sometimes Tizoan will look at you like, "Told you, these travelers are bad news. I told you."
Right.
You know,
Nice.
he definitely has given you judgmental, like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Judd, you said that the Fennec woman, the Ferric woman that had the spike in her. You said that she had like a shield and a spear, right?
Totally, yeah.
Did the spike go through the shield? Like,
It did.
Okay.
It did, yeah. You can see where she like held it up and like the spike just went right through. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
I think it's like a hide shield. Yeah.
Oh, we could use a shield and then that I can see how useless that would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
My intent is to give her a proper funeral pyre before we abandon this place, but my thought is
Should probably not announce ourselves by lighting a giant bonfire before we go over the lip. I'm just saying.
Right.
So, so far you have seen that I have the arcane focus with the word message, and I have the arcane focus with the word shadow. What you don't know is that I took the arcane focus with the word portal. So if we need to go jump some motherfucking wizards in the sky, we can do it. It'll take me 6 hours, but I can make it happen.
I can make it happen.
Go fuck out some sky wizards. Yeah. I really want to see what's over this. What's over this?
All right, I'm with you. That's why I was like kind of keeping quiet because I wanted to see sort of like what.
Yeah, I absolutely think we should do that, Josh. But I think we should.
Yeah, but it's also going to take 6 hours, and that's where I get to tell you about how I get to borrow people's vitality. So.
Yeah. So
because I'm gonna need all the juice.
So Jed, how steep is the grade up the crater? Can we? Can we poke our head over the edge?
Oh, yeah. You can poke your head over the edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you poke your head over the edge, and you see that the Ferric woman came with two other people.
Yeah.
One of them took a spike through the eye and died. The other one got close enough to touch the rock, and as Buren and Drawn know, that doesn't usually go well, and got burned to death.
Right.
And I think the rock is not a rock. It looks like a sphere with segments, very very well fit together, geometrical segments, and in the middle of each geometrical segment is a spike, and one of the spikes is missing.
Okay.
Two of the spikes are missing, right? Because one is in the one is in the person's eye. Yeah.
So it's like a dodecahedron. It's just like pew 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 pew, like in all directions. All right.
When you say
and it floats and just kind of like it's floating in a blue light and it's just rotating a little bit.
I feel like I equipped my character with a bolo just for this fucking purpose. I feel like this is
I don't think your rocks are gonna defeat the spinning spike monster.
No, but what I'm imagining is, assuming it's less than 50 feet, is tying a rope to this bolo and throwing the bolo to wrap around this thing and tugging it back here without going over there. Is this too MacGyver to be possible?
No, I think it's doable. I think it's very difficult, but I would love to do a high difficulty test. We haven't really done that yet.
Yeah.
I think this is.
Is it a legendary feat? Is it a difficult feat? Is it a very difficult feat?
I think it's legendary, right?
Okay.
I think throwing your bolo around a star and dragging it out of a pit is legendary.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta do it. Like, it's the thing we came here for. Like,
give it a shot. I mean, what the F? What's the worst thing that can happen? Get a spike in the eye. I mean,
right.
Well, actually, before you do that, Sean, let's have a conversation.
Yeah,
let's say that you drag this thing.
Suddenly, it's
Let's say that you drag this thing over here. What's the plan? It's just gonna shoot us full of spikes.
Right. Right.
I assumed that the objective here would be to assess the danger, and it is extremely dangerous and full of spikes.
Right.
And I mean, I'm guessing that what we actually want to do is maybe bury it, or in classic Stone Age fashion, drop a rock on it.
I think we can't leave it here for someone else just to find.
I agree, but
I agree.
While we could drag it with a rope, maybe at a distance, I don't know what the ultimate goal is, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think what we really need to do is like dig a
Bury
pit
it.
and then like put
Bury
it in the pit and then put a pile of dirt on top of it so that if it's shooting spikes, it's not shooting random people or us or an aurochs or a triceratops.
Yeah, I
right?
love
Like,
that. Yeah. I think Drawn is sort of talking out loud. So he's broadcasting like what he's thinking, right? So it's not just like I'm pulling out the bolo and I'm throwing it. I'm like, I was like, it's like it's like catching river bats. I'm sure that it's not much. That thing's not much smaller than a river bat. I could I used to shoot those with my T68. Right, like I could probably catch it. But yeah, and I feel like if we were just talking, our characters are talking about like, well, what the fuck would you do with it then? We don't want to bring it over here. We need to bury it where it can't be, where it can't. No one is going to find it, where it can't harm any others. Where it can't do this again. Points to the spike.
well, most things that are buried in the ground. Well, actually, that's a good question, Judd. Is there any way to ascertain if burying it will be safe? Like, is that a thing we can do? Because like, shit drops out of the sky, you bury it, it could poison the land, it could do all sorts of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
No
I
idea.
mean,
That's fine.
the greater consequences are, I think, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Can we tell whether there are more spikes? There's plenty more spikes in this thing that hasn't fired yet, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think you can see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's subtle.
Yeah. I mean, the other alternative is approaching it with something that can stop the spikes, but we clearly saw it shot right through a shield. I don't think we own
It
anything.
shot through hide. Hide is pretty strong, but I mean, it's not inconceivable, right? Like an aurochs horn will go through hide, no problem.
Yeah.
Like a good arrow may get stopped, but I think that we've witnessed creatures powerful enough to go through hide without trouble.
Sure.
So like, I wouldn't try and stop a triceratops with a hide shield, right? So like, but like, the bigger question is like, we don't actually know what the final like. Well, you know what, Judd? I'm gonna study the shield with mind, and you tell me how many negative dice I get. And like what I'm trying to do is figure out if like a plate of granite or like shale will be able to stop this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great roll. Let's roll.
All right. I'm just gonna roll straight mind if that's okay.
Yeah. I think this is
yeah, like I'm putting my finger through the shield and just like studying it.
Yeah.
And like
it's
trying
awesome.
to get a sense for like how much force it takes to go through that.
It's a 2 to figure this out. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna see how I do. Nope. I don't know.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3 on my good dice and a 4 on the negative dice. Nothing bad, but like,
I think like you imagine getting a piece of shale and like putting it in front of your brother and it just going right through it and you being like, whoops, I was wrong. Like you just realized that.
Yeah, I'm super unconfident. Yeah.
You never know the upper threshold until you've hit it, right? Shale.
I mean, we could try this another way, Drawn. We could try and deal with the Sky Wizards and like then see if this thing is still active. Because much like the spike, it could deactivate if their castle stops giving it power. We don't know. Like I don't have an answer there. But what I'm saying is we could deal with this later.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the nearest village isn't sending additional people, and we know that all of the people from the southern village are dead. So unless people show up in the next day, we should be okay.
We need to. I'm nodding along, like I've got like the bolo out, and I'm like thinking about it. I'm not gonna throw it, but I'm like kind of measuring the weight, and then I like tuck it back into my belt, and I say, Hadna, you and I need to guard this place so no one else crests it. While my brother prepares.
So I've got you know what, this is fine. So what I see is like, all right, so here's the thing. I can get us away into their sky palace, but I don't know what we're going to all meet when we actually when we land there. So, sharpen your weapons and get ready. And I'm going to have to take whatever strength you're willing to give in order to fuel my magics. Yeah. So I actually have a serious question. What's the name of Cranky McCranky Face who we dragged along again? Sorry.
Stizoan, yeah.
Yeah, it's the one name that's not on my screen. Everyone's got their like character names, but like Stizoan is just not here. I should probably write it down on my character sheet. But so Stizoan can participate in this. So the way this works is when it casts magic, you can dub vitality into it. And the vitality can come from me, which I'm planning to spend some. It can come from anybody who's willing or anybody I'm touching who's unconscious. That's for evil wizard shit. That's not me.
Yeah,
just pointing it out, right? Like,
so you're saying I gotta knock this dude
why
out.
in Conan evil wizards have sacrifices. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So anyway, in this case, what I'm saying is like anybody that wants to give me vitality dice should, because I'm going to need at least like 2 6s to even succeed.
Yeah. I'll give you 5.
All right, great.
I need to step away for just a second. I know a bio break. I'll be right back. You guys keep
good. All right, Judd. I hope you don't give me bonus nasty dice because I think I'm rolling 5 to start.
But what you're trying to do is
a miracle. There's no other way to explain how I open a portal between here and the fucking heavens.
Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I mean, I think base difficulty 8 is perfectly fine with me.
So I think all I'm going to fish for is a bonus in particular, which is I would like to spend the time to find the appropriate time of day that's either the best for this, or I have the best shadows, or like the moon is occluded, like the castle occludes the moon so that I get like a shadow path to it or something to try and fish for a bonus die. I'm using my base 3 mind, my 1 for being a wizard, because that's all I got. I'm going to use my that 1 bonus die if you're willing to give it to me.
Yep.
And I'm going to burn some vitality too. Oh, actually, before we do that vitality, can we take a short rest? So a short rest is 10 minutes at least. A long rest takes 6 hours, but I'm going to be spending 6 hours actually like drawing like a circle on the ground and whatnot. So 10 minutes allows characters to regain 1d3 vitality point plus heart vitality points. Afterwards, the characters must pass a body test with the difficulty equal to the number of rests taken that day, or they can't benefit from another short rest until the next day.
I actually think that other than the Spike Star, this is a pretty safe place. Animals other than humans are staying the F away from it, right?
All right. Yeah. In which case, I'm going to recover my vitality so I can use all the juice.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to burn. I think I'm going to burn 3 vitality.
I think Stizoan takes Hadna aside and says, what if what Buren is doing angers the Sky Wizards and they rain fire on us? Things like this might have been what got their village killed.
This is true.
It's not wrong.
I will stay with them. You put some distance between us and you. And if this goes badly, you go back and tell all the villages from here back to home.
He nods.
It's a damn good plan.
Says, find your way home, Hadna.
Be better than you were when you left.
All right.
That's fair. I will.
And I kind of tap him on the back.
Yeah.
And then rejoin Dron and Bjorn.
Yeah.
Would either of you be willing to give me any of your vitalities?
Yes, you got 5 from me.
Oh, holy shit.
Are
you serious?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
3's a lot.
Yeah,
I was going to. Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure, John?
I'm sure.
4, 5. Okay.
I will give you 3.
I accept all of this. All right. I'm going to make it happen. Here we go. That's a lot of dice. This feels like some Myth Ender stuff. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I got like 12 dice in here or something. Hang on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3 boons.
There we
Right.
go.
Let me roll the bad dice though. Okay, so I started a base 1, which is good. I need to get to 8. I add +3 per, so I think I'm gonna have to burn all 3 boons for us to open a shadow portal into the sky castle.
Yeah.
Damn, that's one hella miracle. It takes me 6 hours.
Yeah.
What does it
And
look like?
I do
What do
it-
those 6 hours look like?
So I think when it starts out, it's a lot of those sigils that you saw glowing on my bracers and necklace. I start like at first, what I do is I spend some time basically like scraping an area of ground clear so that it's almost like a bowl. And I think I'm gonna. Is there what is there? Is there any water in the area? Probably not, right?
I mean, we have water that we have with us. It's not much, but you know.
Right.
It's fine.
I mean-
So go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
I think it starts to rain during this thing, and so you have puddles.
Great. So I think like as the water is building, what I'm doing is I'm drawing those like sigils in a circle, almost like a spiral, and then like when you folks get ready, right? Like I think I cut my hand and I like bleed into the bowl, and like instead of it being like water, it starts turning into like black, and by the time drawn. So like I assume that it's like me and then Hadna and then like drawn at the end, dropping all 5 vitality, right? Like, and I think what happens is the water is like at first like rippling, but by the time that last blood comes, it goes still as a mirror, and like the raindrops start bouncing off of it. And then like the moment that I like touch the last sigil that's drawn, it like ignites in that blue light, like winds back in until it like hits the water, and then the water becomes like depthless. And like when I step into it, it's almost like I'm walking into some sort of black hole. Like I sink into it, and like the blackness is just rising until I'm all gone, and it just like has like a single ripple, and then like I step out of a shadow somewhere else.
Yeah.
Nice. And are you going? Is your thought that we're following right after you?
Yeah. Or like if you want, I can hold the portal open and the 2 of you can go, and then I can step through last.
that's
That's a
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Drawn would be quick to follow after because he's not letting his little brother out of his sight for any longer than he has to. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like after hours of being in these places that are full of mud and nature and like and grass and wind, suddenly we're in this very sterile spaceship, spaceship hallway. The only green I think is the green along the ground that goes along different pathways where like some kind of algae air scrubber technology is going on, but you don't know what that is. All you know is like there's some kind of green under glass. Not that you know what glass is. You know what I mean? Like it's just
it's ice. It's not cold ice.
Yeah. It's uncold ice, and you are in this you're in this spaceship. And I think from down a hallway you hear we've got some kind of system malfunction. It says we've got we just got unwanted visitors. So can someone please check the security system, please? But like you don't know what that means. You just hear someone spouting gibberish. I think Buren might understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think probably right before we engage and like we're all through, right? I think Buren just looks at Drawn and says, "Oh, in case I didn't mention, Tagara is here with the Sky Wizards." And I just start jogging down the hallway towards where the noise came from.
Nice. Yeah. I think Drawn is Drawn isn't like, oh, of course I knew, but he's also not totally like, it's this mix of like, I knew something was up. I didn't know what it was.
Right.
And I think he mutters under his breath, like, I knew you and Father weren't the only wizards among us. And yeah, I'm gonna chase after her and
Yeah.
get my bolo out, wrap up some security guard before he can pull out his phaser.
Yeah,
Lightning
You
stick,
come-
please.
you come upon some sickly looking human who has like a wall panel open and is sticking his head in it and fiddling with it. You have no idea what the hell they're doing, but they don't hear you coming. What do you do to them?
I think Hadna greets them, right?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Traveler.
they hit their head on a panel and like look at the three of you, and then say, learning your speak. How arrive?
I think Hadna begins to describe the portal we walked through, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Right.
They're nodding and very slowly say, welcome, welcome. And they're pulling a gun.
Right. So that, yes.
Well,
that I understand, right?
We know what a weapon is.
Yeah. Well, that's a body language thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You're saying one thing, but you're reaching back here like that, right?
I mean,
Totally.
it could have been a knife,
Done
right?
that. It's weird. Enterprise this. First contact.
Yeah,
exactly.
First
That's
contact.
pretty bad in the way of first contact. But then again, they've already spiked a few people to spy on us. So.
These are not enterprise people. These are
I'm
yeah.
being a goofball. I'm sorry.
I know,
I can't help
no.
myself.
No, I think it's great. I love it. And
it sounds like violence is happening. Hadna, is this you? Are you axing?
So I think, drama-wise, I think Hadna sees it, but he doesn't believe, right? He's trying to communicate to these folks, right?
right.
But I think it's more dramatic if you guys have to save me because I'm not, right?
Nice.
I haven't put it
Tron,
together
you want to
yet,
take this?
Right?
Yeah. I think if you're waiting and you're not believing it, it becomes a last minute drawn, grabbing his arm and throwing it up into the air, so the blaster bolt goes awry.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think I'm gonna like pull out a weapon because I'm waiting and I'm like, oh wait, you don't see it, you do see it, and then before it's too late, I dive in to wrestle it away from him.
And I think it's a very like Flash Gordon looking like chromed laser pistol.
Nice.
And
with a fin.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah.
And
two fins.
and let's make some rolls.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a body roll. I assume it's body.
Yeah.
I feel
you're trying to grab their hand.
Is coming in here only because like I feel more and more like Hadna is becoming part of our family, and like you've accepted us into your home, and you're going on this fucking space wizard adventure with us. I feel this is.
I just want to talk them into not firing the spikes anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's the conversation.
How many negative dice?
They're just evil wizards.
How many negative dice am I got here?
I think this person is level 3.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 negative dice.
And then I'm gonna give another one for laser pistol with the safety off. I think is another one.
Yeah, laser pistol with the safety off seems pretty reasonable to me. All right, I'm gonna spend some vitality. Get that vitality nice and low. Spend 2 vitality to get myself some more dice. As I think that no matter what, this will be a struggle. There'll be some. All right. What is my difficulty?
You're just trying to grab their arm, right?
Yeah. I'm literally just trying to like throw their arm up so that when the shot goes off, it it hits the ceiling or something like that. Like it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think this is hard. I think getting a live pistol out of the way when yeah, I think it's difficult. I think it's a 3.
Then I fail.
Okay. Cool. They take out the pistol very slowly and duplicitously, and you grab their hand, and I think the pistol goes off. I think it hits you instead of Hadna.
Yeah.
And so you take 8 damage.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the laser goes through your chest.
Awesome. So what happens when your vitality is below 0?
You make a body test with difficulty equal to 0 plus your current vitality. So if your vitality is -1, it would be difficulty 1. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, got it. And just one negative die with that difficulty, or are there or is it variable?
When a character's vitality drops below 0, they are dying and must make a body test with a penalty equal to their current vitality. If they succeed, they fall unconscious and will wake up in an hour sooner if somebody heals them. With a new scar, ask the player to describe it. If they fail, they are injured and will die in 1 hour if somebody doesn't heal them. So,
Cool.
So make a body test.
Yeah.
And you could be unconscious or stable, or you could be injured and kind of out of it.
Awesome. And it's difficulty for me. The difficulty is 3 because my vitality is -3 right now. Interestorante. Okay. I got a 6, which gives me a boon, but I got a 6, which gives me a setback. So I'm at difficulty 0 right now. I could spend that boon, but my body's only 2, so it would only put me up to 2, so that would not make me exceed the difficulty. I don't think there's any other way that I can raise.
Nope. I think
The
you just
value.
save the boon and eat the fail.
Yeah. All right. So I get both a boon and a setback. I'll keep the boon. Judd, you get the setback. Do whatever you want with.
Okay.
And so it sounds like I'm dying. I got the bad outcome, which is I'm dying unless somebody.
You'll be dead, make new character in an hour, unless somebody makes a heal check to
Excellent.
fix you up.
And do I get a sweet scar, or is that only if I succeeded in it?
That's a good question.
Because if I get a sweet scar, it's definitely a circular. It's definitely a circular burn in my chest where it hit me.
Right.
That looks just like the scar on the top of my head.
Yeah.
And the one that Sazoan has.
Yeah.
You are injured, and they're saying injured with a capital I. Must mean something. Nope,
Yes.
it never appears anywhere else in the document. Amazing.
Of course not.
I think you're just like dying, and we have to figure out a way to fix you.
Yep.
So I guess what we really need to do is figure out where the fuck the med bay is. But before we can do that, we should probably take care of this asshole with a goddamn ray gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Hadna, would you like
Yes.
to take? Oh, so wait, we're in. This is combat. We have initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
So characters and opponents act in order of initiative. Initiative can be defined by the referee in accordance with the fiction. When in doubt, characters can make a body test to act before any opponent whose level is equal to or lower rank than the result. So, Judd, Drawn is wrestling with this dude and gets shot through the chest.
yeah.
Who do you feel acts first after that?
Yeah, a red light like a sunset goes off. Drawn, you can smell burning meat,
Of course.
and I mean, I think I feel like Drawn probably gets thrown back a little bit,
Yeah.
and I think I feel like the space asshole is going to go next.
Okay, so we have to make a body test to beat him. I
Right.
suck at body. How are you at body here, Hadna?
My body is 0.
Oh yeah, mine's -1. We're both awesome. Drawn was our fighter. We're screwed.
Yeah.
TPK incoming. Here we go.
Yes.
Sweet. Cool. Cool.
So how do you make a body check if your body's 0, right? Because you get the
You
one
always
negative
remember
die.
that you always get 1 die.
Okay.
And then you can call on tags to try and hi. not right now, buddy. He wants a snack. But yeah, like let's
yeah.
Oh, you think you got this? All right, yeah, go ahead and do
have
it.
this, yes.
I got nothing for the moment, so I'm
might
just
have
gonna
this.
hope that he doesn't shoot me and do a thing.
All right. So I've got the 1 for my 0 body, right? That's the
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
get 1 positive die for that, right?
Yeah, I always get a minimum of 1 die. Yeah.
All right. I'm thinking my family. I already told them I'm coming back, right? I'm not dying right here, right? I'm going back. So my family is my tag. So that's 2 dice.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah,
you can always spend vitality if you need to, or if you have boons saved up.
I will spend vitality.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. You decide how many.
Well, so how many negative dice do I have?
This is just for initiative. It doesn't say that you get any bonus negative dice unless Judd decides.
Yeah, I think it's just 1. Yep.
Yeah.
The thing you're rolling really against is this person's level, and their level is 3.
Right.
Okay.
So you need a success of 3 or better.
All right.
That's
so
the
I'll
problem.
spend 1 vitality die, so I have 3 dice against this 1 negative die.
All right, go for it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
No. So my negative die is a 5, and I have a 4 on my positive die, so I'm at a -1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Judd.
Yeah.
What does the what does the guy with the ray gun do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna stop firing. I think he points the gun at Hadna and fires. He gets, let's see how this works.
He doesn't need to roll. Hadna just defends. Like,
got it.
When someone shoots you, you just defend, and you either succeed or fail.
Got it.
Okay.
So characters can dodge, parry, or avoid attacks in many ways. Make a defense test with difficulty equal to the attacker's result or level. Oh, maybe he does roll. I don't really know. Yeah. The enemy's attack is avoided if the test is a success. If the test fails, the character suffers damage equal to the value of the negative effect plus the attacker's level or their weapon's damage. Yeah, good luck. You should make a defense test. The J.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another body test, I think.
All right. With my body of 0.
Yeah, right. This is when you spend some vitality because we don't really have any other options.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I think you're gonna get a 1 extra bonus because I think you're in close, right? And you're closer than someone with a pistol would want you to be. Even a laser pistol.
Is it 12-foot rule, 21-foot rule? I forget.
21. Yeah, 21. Yeah.
We all know it's BS, but it's kind of funny anyway.
It's funny. I had just learned that, and I was at a library meeting where the campus safety was there, and they were like, "Do you know how far someone has to be away from a knife wielder in order to draw a gun and fire?" And I was like, 21 feet. And they were like, yeah, 21 feet. I was like, I just read that. Everyone was looking at me like I was like a knife maniac. But
all you have to say is justified.
Yeah.
It was a big deal in the show. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Justified did that too. Yep.
Yeah. I will spend 2 vitality.
Okay.
And I have 1 negative die, right?
Yep.
I have a 6, which is a boon. And my negative die is a 5, so I'm at a.
You have to spend that boon immediately because you need to get a 3 or better to like.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Oh wait! Maybe you can't.
Yeah, no, because my body's a 0.
Yeah, you can't just add it. Whoops.
Could you add a different stat, or does it have to be that?
It has to be a stat that's relevant to the situation. That's all it says.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of stat. What are the other stats? Because I think there's like weapon,
body, mind, and heart. Those are the only stats.
No, but you could. It said you could add relevant traits, and I feel like. Hold on, let me pull it up. Boons. Apply a stat. An attribute, weapons damage, or an opponent's level. So obviously you can't apply the opponent's level. You can't apply weapons damage. Yeah. All right. Never mind.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you roll on a thing that's you can't win.
You can if you roll like a 6 and a
Right.
3, for example. Like
Yeah,
it's
right.
not it's not impossible. It's just unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know the laser hits you for 8.
So I have light armor. I don't know what that does.
It adds to a defense roll. A shield actually negates an attack, I think. Do you have a shield? Did you
I
take
do
the
not
shield
have a
gear
shield.
bit?
Not yeah. I took the B.
Okay.
So I have,
A gets a shield. I know that.
Yeah. No, so I just have the light armor.
Yeah.
That's +1 to defense, right?
Yeah.
So that.
And I didn't count that. I assumed it would soak up damage.
Yeah.
So you could roll another die, which could theoretically give you another boon if you had a 6 on it, but it couldn't actually improve your roll. I should have done the same when I was rolling defense, but it's also moot because it was the same situation.
So it ends up adding a die to your defense test?
Or is it +1? It adds to your defense. Details, other stats, equipment, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Blocking.
Armor light. Defense +1. Doesn't fucking tell anything.
Yeah, it just says defense +1.
But I'm guessing that it just like if you're defending, it adds +1 to your defense test. So like if you rolled like a 1 test, you would get the equivalent of a 2 or whatever for defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're taking the 8.
All right.
Sorry.
Ooh, so I'm down 2 because I only have 4 vitality left.
Okay. You want to make the body roll to see if you're up or you're down with a scar?
Yes.
It's gonna come down to my roll.
Yep. So it's
I got this.
1 negative die, 1 positive die.
Yeah.
Difficulty 4. You got it.
I'm at 1 and 1. 1 negative on my negative die, 1 on my positive die. So it's a 0.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're joining me. We're on the floor together.
Cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull this off. So, Judd.
Yeah.
It takes 1 action to cast an invocation.
Yeah.
And an invocation is anything that a person with appropriate gear could do. Could a person with appropriate gear pull out a clip out of a gun?
Could totally pull the battery out of a gun.
Great.
Yes.
Yes. I would like to use my shadow to eat the power out of the gun, which is the equivalent of declipping it, right? Like
yeah.
The ammo
Totally.
away.
Totally.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take away his ridiculous 8 damage weapon that scares me so much.
Yeah.
I get 2 6s. So I would like to use 1 to hammer that one home, and then I would like to save a boon.
Yeah. I think like shoots drawn in like a moment that is a little hectic. Shoots Hadna, who's a little bit too close, and then turns to you and says, "Sorry, buddy. I can't wait to figure out how you got up here."
And I just the runes go on my thing, and I just do a motion like this, and then I like wince.
Yeah, and then
click,
click,
click, click,
click, click, click. Oh, come on!
And I put a 2-handed spear through him.
Roll.
All right, motherfucker. I'm gonna burn some vitality here. Here we go. Yes! Yes, I fucking bring it home. 3.
Nice.
Stuck it.
Nice.
And this is a 2-handed weapon, so I actually took the biggest weapon I could. It does 4 levels of damage to him.
Nice.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna spend an extra boon, and I'm gonna claim mind on this one. I'm gonna look at his like spaceman outfit and hit him someplace that he's got no protection.
Oh yeah.
and just like basically like just shove a two-handed bone spear into him.
Yep, you
And
put
just
it.
be like,
You put it.
"Ah!"
You put it right into his neck.
Down.
What was once a sterile, ridiculous environment is now
Yes.
covered in blood.
Now a bloody mess.
And I turn around. So are Drawn and Hedna both dying?
Yes. We both failed our rolls.
Okay, fantastic. Judd, I'm going to I am going to take the spike that's still wrapped up in the cloth, and I am going to attempt to use scry. Because now I'm here, right? So like I'm not doing this like giant journey.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
equivalent of a person just walking around, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is spend a second to look around to see if there is any like health magic words around. So basically I'm looking for like blood red signs that aren't like danger monster looking. Like I'm looking for
you've got to shove that spike into some control panel or something.
Oh, it's gonna happen. That's gonna be the next scene. I've just got to drag some bodies into the med bay. Hang on a second. Give me a hot sec. Judd, what level of spell is it? I'm hoping it's an invocation here.
Yeah, no, I think it sounds like an invocation. Yeah.
All right, great. Is there any additional difficulties, or is this just like base difficulty for invocations?
No, I think this is I think this is just base.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Here we go.
I mean, I think if you were using tech from a different ship or a different, you know what I mean?
3, I'm good.
Yeah.
I save a boon.
You find the med bay. I think there's like a medical robot that's that says in a language that only Buren can understand. Oh, it looks like your friends have taken a gunshot wound.
Would you like to repair them?
Would you like them to get help before they die of internal?
Yes, spirit, fix the bleeding. But yeah, no, I'm gonna drag Drawn and Hedna into the room, and I look at between the two of them, and I say, "I'm so sorry" at Hedna, and I put Drawn on the table first. And right. I is the thing so yeah, like it lights up. There's like a weird thing there. It's asking if it wants to be repaired. I'm like, yes. How do I make it go?
Yeah. I think they just start working on him and put like, you see it fill the laser hole full of foam, and like you don't understand, like it's just moving like, kind of like a healer moves, and says they'll be up in no time. And then would you like to bring your friend over here?
Is it asked about Hedna?
Yeah.
Great. Yes, I absolutely do. What I'm worried about now is that the Sky Wizards with magic fire rays, which fire and ray are both in magic arcane foci. Wait. I bring the gun with me just in case.
Bring the gun.
But yeah, I want to make sure that they can't find us. So I think I need to double check and see. No, that would be way bigger than an invocation. I can't hide us from them very easily.
Yeah. You're like figuring out what to do, and like I love like this is like the face of Buren as Hedna and Drawn are getting stitched up by the med bay, and I think a wall
opens. Of course, it does.
No, it doesn't open. It flickers in light, and I think Hedna and Drawn wake up as Buren is like standing there, and then like kind of looks up as the wall flickers, and it is
Tegara, I'm guessing.
It's Tegra.
Oh, Tegra. That's the word. Okay, great.
And I think she says in like in Veil speak, Buren, what are you how did you get here?
I think Drawn just sort of like reaches out. We're awake, right? We're come to. Drawn just sort of like reaches out an arms like, Tegra. Like camera can swing back to run, but Drawn is definitely reaching out to her, kind of like in disbelief. She can't really be here. When Buren said she was here, he meant like her spirit or something like that.
I think Buren says, why are you raining needles down upon our new home? Why are you bringing these sky sorcerers here?
You shouldn't be anywhere near there. You're in the desert. Why didn't you stay in the desert?
Because it's lit on fire by things that rain from the sky. Our father is dead and the bones of my siblings are in my backpack still.
Yeah, I think she like puts her head in her hand. She says,
They don't call it the Veil anymore. They call it the Burned Lands. Banner is gone.
I offered myself up as a deal. I asked them to take me instead of harm any of you. I've gone to their land.
I move out of the way of where the camera is so that she can see the hole in Drawn's side, and I say, "Well, they're not honoring that deal, sister."
How did you get here?
I just show her the bloody spear, and I say, "I'm coming for your wizards." And then I drive the fucking thing into the monitor.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the monitor flickers out. I think the wall goes dead, and it's just a wall with a bone in it. And
Nice.
and Drawn and Hedna, you're up.
I feel like I want to be conscious of time because I think we're way over what we were.
We're way over. Yeah.
So I think that would we can either be like, let's play another session of this later and like we do it again, or we should like epilogue it at this point or something like that because I just want to, or like an hour and a half over what we were planning.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, listen, we're in a fucking sky palace with evil wizards.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't pay attention to time at this point. There's wizards to kill.
I would be happy to come back for a second session and go hunt some wizards, like yeah.
Let's hunt some wizards another time. I think that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Like if God forbid we never meet again and we ended it with Buren 7 stars driving a bone into the wall saying, "I'm coming for your wizards."
Pretty good.
I'm pretty happy. But I would love to hunt some wizards in this weird sky palace. So that's awesome. I'm down with it. I'm totally down with it. Cool. Let's end it. Just to remind everyone, this was Primal Quest.
Yes.
A super fun game by Diogo Nogueira. It is one of the many amazing games in the indie bundle for abortion funds. There's the link on our screen, and we have it in our chat, and it will also be in any kind of description. It'll still be going for another 4 days, 6 days, 4 days, 3 hours and 20 minutes, and it is July 9th now. So if you can get to it. It doesn't only have this amazing game of stone and sorcery. It also has Wander Home. It also has Apocalypse World. It has the Apocalypse World Burned Over bundle. It has a couple cool things from Evil Hat too, doesn't it, Sean?
Yeah, it's got Agon and Fate Accessibility Toolkit. There's hundreds, thousands. There's just tons in this.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, I threw 25 instead of just 10, and I feel like it was well worth my money. If nothing else, to watch my friends kill sky wizards. That was.
For it.
I got my $25 worth today.
Sky wizards, I feel like we're winning on both. Doing it all.
Yeah, very cool. So my name is Judd. He, him, and you can find me at my blog, Get Yankee Diaspora. I also have a podcast called Daydreaming About Dragons. And I will hand the volleyball off to Jay next.
I'm Matt J. You can find me on Twitter at MattJ0. I'm the host of the Diceology podcast at diceology.com.
Nice.
Sean?
Yeah, I'm Sean. You can find me everywhere at Sean Nittner. I'm currently crowdfunding for Big Bad Con. So if you would like to come out October 27th to 30th, play some amazing games, meet some amazing people, hang out in a great space. It is live on Indiegogo right now. I'll put that in the bloopity blops. It would be great to see you. If you are like, yeah, Big Bad is super cool, we want to support it, but I can't make it this year. Totally understand that. It could be for any reason. There's lots of awesome online games you can sign up for, including Trophy Gold with Judd right here. And I think there's still a spot or two open for that. And there's other ephemeral pledge levels that you can do to support from afar. So if you're interested, check it out. How about you, Strash?
Hey, I'm Strash. You can find me on Twitter at StrashA. I really wish I could tell you about some streaming things, but I really haven't been streaming lately, so that's the honest truth. Been working on a lot of stuff, but some of it's secret, so I can't talk about it. And yeah, just follow me on Twitter, and I promise there will be news sooner rather than later. But that's sort of where I'm at these days. So yeah, that's all I got. This was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Thanks so much for running, Dad. This is a blast.
Cool.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
thank you all for joining me. That all came together really fast. It was nice.
All right.
Yeah, I think you sent out the initial "Hey, should we play something?" email on like Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best thing ever. Yeah. All
Love
right.
it.
Take care, all.
I like the music. That's all right. That like the smooth outro.
How do you folks like see people when? Because like all I see is the screen that says like